good afternoon. Good evening. Welcome back to the CGS channel. Where today? Welcome back to the CGS channel. Where today we're doing a Q&A. I've just got back from Bulgaria, so I'm not going to need these anymore. As you might be able to tell by my voice, I'm a little bit ill, but that doesn't matter because we've got some Q's to A. So let's get straight into it with the first question from Armu007, who says, "What's your favourite disease?" Which straight away brings us on to comment of the week as a reply from some kid 11 who says dementia before commenting dementia again 3 more times. Now, I don't condone taking the mick out of dementia, but I must admit this was really funny. It did make me laugh. For me, obviously, no disease is great, but I think cholera probably takes a biscuit. It's quite a cool name. I think without it being a disease, it'd probably be quite a cute baby name. The next question comes from Alexanders306, who asks, if Stained Brutal Calamity was a food, what would it be? For me, I'd probably say ghost chilies with some exploding shotgun shells in it, with maybe a hint of fentanyl on the side. Shout out to this comment though, who says nails with hot sauce with a side of milk which has hot sauce in it. This would probably be runner-up for comment of the week. This made me laugh as well. The next question is 3 comments that I put into one because they're very similar, which are you an actual DJ or something that has to do with music? How do you know so much music terminology? And do you have a background of music in some way? Which I assume is, do you have a background of music in some way? Oh, actually, I've just found a 4th comment from Majestical195 that says, how did you become so experienced in analysing music? Do you have any tips for getting better at finding specific details like you do? Like knowing which instruments and octaves evoke which emotions in a given context? The question is vague, but your insight is greatly appreciated. Nope, I'm not a DJ. Nope, I don't have any background in music. I used to play a couple of instruments, but nothing serious. How did you become so experienced in analysing music? I don't know really. I've always just loved music and had a passion for it, and I guess from listening to lots of different genres all my life, I've just picked up on a lot of terminology. And do you have any tips for getting better at finding specific details like you do, like knowing which instruments and octaves evoke which emotions in a given context? I would say watch YouTube videos of people analysing music. Make sure you do that on lots of different genres so you get a wider knowledge. Once you've learned some of them, listen to music and see if you can pick up on those instruments. With more practice, you'll notice more musical patterns such as melodies or, for me in a Terraria videos, chord progression. The only thing I would say is when I speak about emotions, that is completely subjective. For example, a piece of music for me might be more nostalgic than you or vice versa. So when I speak about emotions, that is purely on a personal point of view. The next question comes from Bledwin1241, who asks, which countries have you been to? Bulgaria seems like an interesting travel destination, so I feel like you travel a lot. Also, love your reactions and editing. Thank you for that, mate. Travelling is a big passion of mine. It's definitely something that I want to do. But in terms of what countries have I been to, I've been to 13 countries, or at least that I remember, which are in alphabetical order: Austria, Bahamas, Belgium, Bulgaria, England, obviously, because I live here, France, Germany, Greece, Kenya, Poland, Portugal, USA, quite a lot of times, but I've only been to Florida and Wales. Next up, we have a few questions from Ripley, the Random YT. The first one is, what do you plan to do with your channel moving forward? I'll come back to that in a sec. Next, we have, what inspired you to start your YouTube channel? To simply put it, this is my dream job. I feel like becoming a YouTuber is quite a popular dream job, but for me personally, I've been wanting to do this since I was like 10 or 11. The thought of my job being able to make videos, which I love doing anyways, apart from the fishing for 24 hours straight, that traumatised me. As well as hopefully entertaining you guys and making you guys happy is just an incredible thought for me. What is your favourite game? Choosing a favourite game of all time for me is quite tough, but I think I'm honestly going to have to say Fortnite. Although I don't play it anymore, Fortnite in 2017 and 2018 was probably the most fun I've had playing video games ever. During Prime Fortnite at school, it was all anyone could talk about, and this is a bit cringe looking back on it now, but I remember when Season 4, I think, came out, we were on a school trip and tons of people, including myself, rushed to the back of the bus to just sneak out our phones just to watch the new Allier video. I know now the game is a shadow of what it used to be, but nothing can take away all those memories of getting my first few wins and then going absolutely berserk after.
Lastly, I've been wanting to get into content creation myself, yet I don't seem to be doing anything right. What advice do you have for smaller creators? Firstly, this is pretty surreal, someone asking me for tips when that would have been me not too long ago, but the main advice I'd have for you is be consistent. Since starting, I've uploaded a main video every weekend and a short every day. I'd also say do your research and find out something that might bring in a new audience like I did with my Terraria videos. And finally, you've got to put in the hours. I'll talk a bit more about it later, but I've sacrificed almost everything in my life to make sure I can upload every week at the best quality possible within a short time frame that I have. And finally, coming back to the original question, what do you plan to do with your channel moving forward? This also coincides with another question asking what kind of content are you planning on uploading on the future? Well, you guys can have a say on that. I'll be putting on a community post after this video comes out, which will give you a chance to decide this channel's future. It will ask what you want to see more of for the weekly videos, which you can vote on. And obviously, the more votes an option has, the more videos I'll be making on them. This will get recommended to some of you, but it's not guaranteed if you're not subscribed. So make sure you are subscribed so you have a chance to vote. It's free and it helps me out a ton, especially because I'm still a small YouTuber. Thank you. Carrying on the comment from MDLR1353. Did you do anything other than YouTube before? Any work or hobbies? Or do you have a job apart from YouTube? Also, yes, I did quite a few sports. I finished college a few years ago, and in my spare time I just played games with my mates, but in life I'm not really getting anywhere with that. And yes, I do have a full-time job outside of YouTube as a lifeguard. It was only meant to be a temporary job for me, but in the meantime that's where I earn my living from, and it's pretty cool being able to save lives as a job. The next question is from Nick Johnson 3780, who asked, what are your top 5 OSTs, video game, film, etc.? Just to keep it simple, I'm just going to do video games because films would just be impossible. Although to get a top 5 just from video games is pretty impossible as well. The one that springs instantly to mind is a bit of a rogue one, but DS Shroom Ridge from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Remaster. But to name a top 5 is just impossible. There's so many iconic tracks that are brilliant, like 1-1 from Super Mario Bros. The Fortnite original title theme, as well as the Apex Legends original title theme, are just incredibly nostalgic to me. And the Wii Sports Resorts theme. The Legend of Zelda main theme, Megalanova from Undertale, Bob on Battlefield from Mario 64. The list could just go on and on. To choose a top 5 would just be impossible. Next, I've got a question from Juan y Feria Solania 5334. I'm sorry that I butchered that, but they ask, ¿Te gusta Despacito? Fun fact about Despacito, actually originates from Puerto Rico, not Spain, like many people think. Yeah, it was great. It was great when it released in 2017, I think it was. Although it's not a song that I actively go out of my way to listen to, it's a great song, and if I ever hear it, I'll sing along the lyrics that I do know. Next up, we got a really interesting question from Juanitus LC. Again, probably butchered that, so sorry. But they asked, how many subs do you want? Yes, want. Well, I uploaded my first ever video on June the 1st, and before that I said to myself, I want to try and get to 1,000 subs by the end of the year. Obviously, I hit that 4 months early. If you haven't seen it, I made the short about my live reaction to hitting 1,000 subs. There'll be a card just up here, which you can click on. It will take you to that short. So obviously now I'm quite a bit ahead of my initial target, so I'm quite happy with that. But I'm going to set a new target now of trying to hit 3,000 subs by the end of the year. The goal for me is 1 million subs. I know it's like a massive, massive goal, but I genuinely think if I stay consistent, I could possibly one day do it. That would be an absolute dream for me. And if I'm fortunate enough to hit 1 mil subs, then obviously 10 mil subs will be after that. Being able to get a diamond play button one day would just be absolutely incredible. A proper dream come true, but I'm not expecting that. 1 million subs is the end kind of goal target that I've got. At the moment, I'm currently 0.13% of the way there, so still quite far off, but subscribe to help me get there. Dyron2499 asks, what's your favourite genre of music? Again, an impossible one to answer for me. I appreciate all genres of music, but the one that I would want to specifically listen to at a given moment would be dependent on my mood, so it's kind of difficult to say my favourite. If I really had to decide, it would come down to between pop and rap. I know they're two very, very different genres, but I like them both. LunarLust704 asks, would you upload a pretty much non-edited version? To be honest, I wouldn't mind a 5-hour vid with everything in it and your complete reactions. This was to my Calamity ranking videos. I'd only ever upload videos that I would want to watch myself, and honestly, a 5-hour vid I would not want to watch. Obviously, if I uploaded a non-edited version, there'll be a lot of it where I'm not talking or really doing anything, as well as there being some mistakes where I might say something but then say it wrong or stutter, for example, and then have to say it again, and you don't want to see that. So although I really appreciate you wanting to see more of my content, I will not be doing this, I'm afraid. Next up, we have a question from Alien Soda 788 asking, do you have abs? Asking for a friend. Well, I'm not going to give you a definitive answer for that, but before YouTube, another thing I did, I'd go gym 3 to 4 times a week and I'd train abs almost every day. However, since uploading my second video, due to lack of time, I've been to the gym twice and both times were to record an intro. So if I did have abs before, I probably wouldn't now, but I'll let your imagination come to a conclusion for that one. Next up, we've got a few questions from Jaman the J, who asks, want to play Terraria Calamity with me? I'm doing Infernum. Well, if I do play Terraria Calamity, which I'll get to on in a bit, for now I will be doing it solo, but thank you for the offer. Does you play Roblox? I assume that's meant to say, do you play Roblox? But no, I don't. I don't play any video games anymore outside of what's on the channel, unfortunately, because I just don't have time anymore. I did try Roblox for the first time a couple of years ago, but I just wasn't really a massive fan, but I didn't give it a proper go. And finally, will you wish me a happy birthday on September the 14th? Well, that is the date today that I'm recording, and I've replied to your comment with a happy birthday, and here's another one as well. Next up, we've got a comment from an OG of the channel, The Boys, asking, can I get a shout out? Well, here you go. Coffee Filter 5 asks, what editing program are you using? I use Premiere Pro and always have done on the channel. My first video that I uploaded on the channel was my first time editing, and I've just basically taught myself. I'm not a professional, but I think I've definitely improved quite a lot over the last few months. And that is all from practice of using Premiere Pro. Hello, I've almost finished editing the video. I'm still ill, but I realised I missed out a question, so I'm going to answer that now, which comes from Rocket Jr. KG5NL, who asks if I plan on having a Discord server or the likes for the community. I've never really used Discord before, but I know a lot of YouTubers do have one. I do believe you have to have a mod team to keep the server up, and at the moment I am not in a position to start thinking about employing people. However, I want to have a bit more of a following. If enough people would like to see me have one, then I will for sure look into it. Now, back to the past CGS. Beep, I'm a sheep 460 asked, how am I doing? Thank you for asking. I'm doing well, apart from this throat that is slowly dying through this recording. The next question is from Junglebot, who asks, when comes the next Minecraft episode? What I do for all my videos and shorts, I always put down in the description when the next video of that series will come out. So, for example, here with my latest Minecraft video, it shows that the next one will be out on the 6th of October. And on my last Terraria ranking video, I say that my next Terraria ranking will be out on the 22nd of September, which is next Sunday. Next up, we have a question from Rando Profile. Is bro Chippy Gaming? Yep, this channel is just my alt. Another question from Junglebot asking, how do you make your thumbnails? Green screen behind me plus the Ultra Key tool in Premiere Pro, export it as a PNG to Photoshop, and then me and Photoshop, I've got to do the rest of the magic. Now we have a comment from Fire or Shadow asking, would you be willing to listen to more famous video game music? There are some incredible stuff, especially in the SNES era of gaming, that I think you would enjoy. Yes, absolutely. What I'll do after this video comes out is make a list of how many times you guys comment a game's OST, and once a game gets a certain amount of requests, then I'll do a video on it. I know some games have been commented outside of Terraria are Ultra Kill, Undertale, Geometry Dash, Risk of Rain, Among Us, and many more. So if you want to see me do a ranking of a certain game's tracks, make sure you comment down below, and if I give your comment a heart, then you will know that I've added it to the counter on my list. Next up, we have a question from Dankster_Manon, who says, try eating uranium. Well, this isn't even a question, this is just a statement. Well, personally, I don't really fancy getting heavy metal poisoning. However, saying that, I do love myself some heavy metal, especially if it's from DM Dakuru. And now, the question I'm sure all of you want me to answer, and by far my most requested question, coming up. For the highlighted comment, I've chosen Bunkley923, who asks, have you ever played Calamity Mod? No, I've never played it before in my life. Will you ever play Calamity Mod? Yes. When will you play Calamity Mod? Well, pretty soon. I didn't initially plan to do this, but due to extremely high demand, I'm proud to announce I will be playing Terraria Calamity on this channel. I'm not sure when the first video will be, but I'll make sure to update you once I know. Which brings me on to a couple more questions. With the first one being from Egg Flavoured Egg 2591 asking again to play the Terraria Calamity mod. If you don't have Terraria, I will gift you it on Steam. It is just so good. No, it's okay. I don't expect you to buy me it. I'm proud to announce from my YouTube channel I've made just over £1 now, so I'm perfectly capable of buying Terraria myself. Thank you for the offer, but I don't want to take any of you guys' money. And the final question from today's Q&A comes from Distinos asking, after listening to the songs of the Calamity mod, did it hype you up to play? Absolutely yes. I've been reading through the comments of the previous few videos and I think I've replied to pretty much all of them, and just even that as well, the comments have just got me so hyped to play it. I cannot wait. I predict it is going to be an incredible series, so make sure you're subscribed so you can see it. Also, I'll just put on screen now every single person who's commented. The reason why I haven't shouted you out personally is because you've had a comment very, very similar or the same as someone else who I've shown on this video. Particularly on the "Are you planning on playing Calamity" questions, I had so many of them. Thank you for watching my first ever Q&A video. I'll probably do this again in maybe 6 months or so, depending on how this does. But like the video if you want to see it again. Remember to vote on the community post to help decide this channel's future in your favour. My throat is giving up, so for now, good night.